Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity, practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, welcome back to Reframing Mindset podcast. My name is Constant Brooks. I know this episode is going to talk about being an employee, give you some real great business practice. There's nothing like being in the field. There's nothing like being in the field because it gives you the real. It's like it's like paid education. Paid education. So for all these business, for the business owners that are being, business owners. That's it's for the This episode is for the entrepreneurs. That's all say. Oh, I want to give you. I want to start a business or whatnot. I guess being an employee, there's nothing, there's nothing better than there's no better experience than becoming an employee yourself. Like there's there's all the guts and glory of becoming a self start business and whatnot, and say, okay, yes, I was started it myself, but yeah, the best one of the being an employee, one of the best thing in an established companies is one of the benefits of doing that is like you get the experience of starting from the bottom and going to the top. That's what I'm actually getting now. Starting from the bottom and going from the top. You know, by the time you listen to this episode, I would be so by the time episode is released, it will be official if I am doing the work full time. I would maybe still be in probation. Or no, that's a lie. By the time this episode will be finished, released, I would the probation period would end, I think, and I would know if I'm a full time employee. If by this time this episode release, I will be working full time for a good while. For a good while. Because I will be way past the training period, the on-the-job training period. I will be doing this full time when I'm working in my team, trying to make this, try to make all these, um, make make money and doing the work. But what happened is that experience is really valuable for me. For example, say, okay, I want to take this science stuff and turn it to a business. I, I would become going through this stage of becoming an employee, show me that okay, yes, this is how I can do the filtering process as well. Not to filter out people to become a scientist, that's what but like filter it out so that when they reach a level of becoming an employed person at my lab or whatever, they are competent. Even if they just basically come out with a with a terrible grade or such like that. As long as they say, okay, I want to become a scientist, I can the filtering process of becoming a trainee to an employee, I can turn it from not competent to competent. And me going through this process of becoming an employee gave me the knowledge that I would need to say, okay, this is how I would do it. This is how I do it. So that's the thing like for your business entrepreneur people, you be like, yo, the best let's say you can do is become an employee at an established company, not any company, an established company to see the structure of becoming. Do it for 1 year or 2 years. Do and take it serious. Not go there casually to say okay. Do it serious. Say okay, I want to see how far I can reach in this business within 1 year or 2 year. Meanwhile, I may be working on a side business just to see how the new levels are. New levels. So, for example, I when I by this time episode is released, and I would reach in the stage where I'm an official um service agent or agent in this business. Okay, but above me, people there were people who are called trainers, team leads, supervisors, managers, and stuff like that. Within 1 year, if I do well within 1 year, something that I also mentioned was that some of these people who are training me now in this. So when this episode is really well, when this episode is recorded, I'm still in my on the job training phase, which is I'm doing the real work 8 hours a day, but I'm being trained by people who are more that were in the business longer. But these people that were in the business longer who were training me, I've been there for around 1 year, 1 year in the business. They're not, seasoned veterans and stuff like that. They were just there like a year before, and they were agents like a year. They were a year ago. They were me just coming into the business, learning it from scratch as well. And what happened was they gone through the process and they did well, and they are proficient at the job, so they were recruited to be the team leads now for the new set of people that they're recruiting and stuff like that. So, so for example, by the end of the year, I could be one of those people, and the Havens like, oh my god, now I'm training these people. But yeah, so as I said, going for the business people, entrepreneur people that say, okay, I want to start a business. Becoming an employee is the best first step. You have your ideas, but becoming an employee is the best first step. You're getting paid to learn what an employee is like. So you can stack up your money, and by the end of the year, you may have enough money to hire someone for your business. But not only that, you get to hire someone to be an employer business. You learn what being an employee is like and what do they need. So when you're an employee, you'll be like, okay, yes, this this company was treating me well because I was getting all of this. I was being treated poorly because I was lacking all of this being an employee year for a year. So when you make your business and say, okay, I'm going to hire my first employee, I will ensure that so that I'm a competitive employee. Um, so that I become a competitive employer, I offer these, and the reason why these stuff are competitive because I've been an employee before, so I know that these are stuff that I wish I had when I employee. So me having giving it to them now, they're more like to stay a longer time. So it's like, so yo, that's something. That's something. You being an employee in a business can really improve your business because you're getting to learn what being the follower is like. Instead of being a leader, you're learning how to be what being a follower is like, so you can be a better leader. So that's basically for this episode. Thank you for listening. I look forward for the next episode. Mhm.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
Is another thing I learned in this in going through this 9 to 5 experience. That kind of, I guess, I would maybe kind of try changing my, because if you listen to the episode prior, being an employee give you some great business practice and experience. I think about it that when I was starting training and stuff like that, the person will be like, they're not hiding. Like, yo, you're in the business to make money. You're in the business because you have your goals as well that you want to achieve as well. So it's like, yo, the man said, like, yo, you have to put in the best foot forward and try to do well in the work, and so that you can improve yourself and reach for as well. But like, yo, you have to see. So I took that well, I went in there with that mindset, but then I took the advice, and as something that I see in the business as well was like, yo.